It's 11:59. The midnight cry is coming. Opening music, slow, reflective, soft piano or cinematic background. Opening scene. Imagine a clock. Not just any clock, but one that has been ticking for thousands of years. Empires have risen. Nations have fallen. Generations have lived their lives beneath its quiet rhythm. Tick-tock. Most people barely notice it anymore. Life is busy. There are bills to pay, children to raise, dreams to chase. But the clock keeps moving. Tick-tock. And now, something feels different. Something in the air. As if the world itself is holding its breath. Because the clock is almost at midnight. Not 12 o'clock exactly, but 11:59. And when the clock reaches midnight, everything changes. The handwriting on the wall. There's an old phrase people sometimes say when trouble is coming. The handwriting is on the wall. It means the signs are clear. You may not want to admit it. You may try to ignore it. But deep down, you know something big is about to happen. The phrase actually comes from a dramatic moment in the Bible. A king named Belshazzar was throwing a massive party in Babylon. Music, wine, laughter. The palace was filled with noise and celebration. But in the middle of the party, something terrifying happened. A mysterious hand appeared and began writing on the wall. No body, just a hand. The room fell silent. No one could understand what the message meant. But one thing was certain. The party was over. Judgment had come. And that very night, Babylon fell. The handwriting had warned them, but it was already too late. A world playing games now. Look around the world today. Technology has never been greater. We can speak to people across the planet instantly. We can fly through the sky faster than sound. We carry powerful computers in our pockets. And yet, for all our progress, something feels deeply broken. People are more anxious than ever. Families are divided. Nations are angry. Truth itself feels blurred. Everywhere you look, there are signs of tension, confusion, uncertainty. It's as if humanity is standing at a crossroads. But most people are still distracted, still scrolling, still chasing the next thing, still living as if tomorrow will always come. But what if tomorrow isn't guaranteed? What if the clock really is almost midnight? Jesus spoke about this moment long before our modern world existed. Jesus warned that a time like this would come. And he told a story, not a complicated prophecy, just a simple story, a wedding story. But hidden inside it is a powerful warning. It's found in Matthew chapter 25, the story of the 10 virgins. Jesus said the kingdom of heaven would be like 10 young women waiting for a bridegroom. In ancient times, weddings were different than today. There were no printed invitations, no exact schedule. When the groom arrived, the celebration would begin. So the bridesmaids waited with lamps in their hands. Their job was simple. When the groom arrived, they would go out to meet him. But there was one problem. The groom was delayed. Hours passed. Night grew darker. And slowly, everyone became tired. Matthew 25:5 says, "While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. Even the wise ones fell asleep. The night grew quiet, still, peaceful, almost too peaceful. Then suddenly, everything changed. The midnight cry." Matthew 25:6 says, "And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh. Go ye out to meet him." Midnight. The darkest hour of the night, when people are least expecting anything. Suddenly a voice echoes through the darkness. "The bridegroom is coming!" The quiet night explodes with urgency. People wake up, lamps are lit, footsteps rush through the streets. The moment everyone had been waiting for had finally arrived. But here's the twist in the story. 5 of the women were ready, 5 were not. The difference between ready and unready. All 10 had lamps. All 10 were waiting. All 10 believed the groom would come, but only 5 had extra oil. The others assumed their lamps would last. They thought they had enough. But when the cry came at midnight, Their lamps began to fade. They panicked. They begged the others for oil. But oil isn't something you can borrow in a crisis. Preparation must happen before the moment arrives. While the unprepared went to buy oil, the bridegroom came. The door closed, and the celebration began without them. The quiet warning. This story isn't about weddings, it's about readiness. Jesus was telling us something important. There will come a moment when the world suddenly realizes the time is up. A moment when everything shifts, when the cry echoes across the earth, the midnight cry. And the question will not be, did you believe something might happen? The question will be, were you ready? Humanity's playtime. Look at the world right now. So much energy is spent on things that don't really matter. Arguments online, chasing popularity, accumulating things that will one day be left behind. It's like humanity is at a giant playground. Everyone running around, laughing, competing, distracted. But somewhere nearby, a bell is about to ring. And when it rings, playtime is over. The moment to prepare has come. Why Jesus told us ahead of time. Jesus didn't share these warnings to frighten people. He shared them to prepare people. In John 14:29, he said something very important. And now I have told you before it come to pass, that when it is come to pass, ye might believe. In other words, he told us in advance, so when the moment arrives, we will recognize it and trust him. The calm before the storm. Right before major events, there is often an eerie calm. The ocean looks peaceful. The sky looks normal. Everything seems ordinary. But beneath the surface, pressure is building. That's what the disciples experienced before major moments in history. Before Jerusalem fell, before empires collapsed, before history shifted. And now, many people sense something similar today. Not panic, but awareness. A feeling that the world is approaching a tipping point. The world at 11:59. Imagine the final minute before midnight. 59 seconds. That's where humanity feels like it is right now. So many warning signs. Moral confusion, global tension, spiritual emptiness. People searching for meaning, searching for truth, searching for hope. And yet the world continues as if everything will continue forever. But history shows us that every age eventually reaches its turning point. The loud cry. In the Bible, the midnight cry isn't just a whisper, it's a loud cry. A message that spreads, a warning that wakes people up, a call that says, wake up. The time has come. Prepare to meet the bridegroom. Throughout history, God has always raised voices to warn people. Noah warned the world before the flood. Jonah warned Nineveh before judgment. Jesus warned Jerusalem before its destruction. And today, the message is still being spoken. Quietly in some places, boldly in others. But the message is the same. The time to prepare is now. Preparation isn't panic. Preparing for the future doesn't mean living in fear. Think about it. People prepare for many things. We prepare for storms. We prepare for exams. We prepare for important meetings. Preparation simply means taking something seriously. And when it comes to eternity, nothing could be more serious. The oil in the lamps. In Jesus' story, the key difference was oil. In the Bible, oil often represents the presence of the Holy Spirit, a living relationship with God. Not just religion, not just tradition, not just knowing about God, but actually knowing Him. The wise women didn't wait until the last second. They prepared ahead of time, quietly, personally, faithfully. The danger of waiting too long. Many people assume they'll prepare someday. Not today, maybe tomorrow, maybe later in life, maybe when things calm down. But the problem with waiting is simple. None of us know exactly when midnight will arrive, and when the cry goes out. Preparation time is over. A personal question. This story isn't really about the world, it's about each of us. Every person listening, every heart watching this moment. The real question is not, is the world ready? The real question is, am I ready? The good news. Here's the beautiful part. Jesus didn't tell this story to leave people hopeless. Preparation isn't complicated. It doesn't require wealth, status, or special abilities. It begins with something simple: turning your heart toward God, seeking truth, walking with Him daily, letting His Spirit shape your life. Lamp, oil, light. That's all the wise ones had, and it was enough. The world will be surprised. When the midnight cry comes, many people will be shocked. They will say, "How did this happen so suddenly?" But for those who were paying attention, the signs were always there. The handwriting was on the wall, a final reflection. Right now, the clock is still ticking. Tick, tock. The door is still open. Mercy is still available. Grace is still calling. But the time to prepare is now. Not tomorrow, not someday. Now. The call. So, wherever you are watching this, take a moment. Pause. Reflect. Because the message echoes through history, through prophecy, through the words of Jesus Himself. The bridegroom is coming. The midnight cry is approaching. Humanity's playtime is almost over. The clock reads 11:59, and the voice still whispers today, "Get ready, get ready, get ready."